So open enablers, whenever you guys are ready, you can take the phone.
Okay, hi. So I think I'll begin now. Yeah. So we're team open enablers with our app, open mobilizers. Yeah. Chun Kang. Yeah. So we're a group of friends from NUS High who wanted to help PWDs with what we've learned in CS and development. So our problem statement was an issue involving lack of accurate and available info for people with disabilities, because this can keep people with disabilities, especially those with physical disabilities that mean they can't traverse certain terrain at home. And so far, initiatives that rely on crowdsourcing this data haven't had much progress. We're hoping to change that. So our solution is an app that has functions both for users and for contributors to this data. For users, they have a dashboard that can give them the information that they need to know, which areas are not accessible for for certain terrain types, where there are ramps, elevators, etc., and where they can find all these things. For contributors, which may be the same people as the users, they can also add points of interest like the aforementioned ramps, elevators, or stairs that cannot be traversed, and give feedback on existing points so that we have a sort of system to prevent spam from taking over the data that we have on these areas. Okay, so this is our app mockup, and I think I'll pass the time over to Kieran to explain how it goes. Yeah, Kieran.
Hello, I'm Kieran, and I will describe the mockup of our application. So here we have 3 sample images, each representing some functionality. At the end of this presentation, I'll send everyone a link to our application through the chat function so you can try it out on your own. So on the leftmost image, we have a submission interface. So we have the title and description, obviously, and we can also tag the facility with as many as like some set of categories. For example, lift, ramp, or if it's just inaccessible. And to prove the image, we also require the user to attach an image to show the end user what this accessibility facility looks like. The middle image represents the is a collated map with all the locations inside. So basically, it will show the end user where all the accessible facilities are. So once you click on the marker, you should be able to be redirected to a page that shows all the location data. So the description, the tags, as well as the image to prove it. And on the right is a dashboard, which scene is the starting this is what it shows at the start. If you select, let's say, category 1, it will show the number of locations near the user, and it would also show the nearest location to the user as well. So in that case, the user can simply just click on that nearest location and see what it looks like. So how does this benefit the end user after all? So our application aims to give these people who require mobility assistance more confidence in traversing Singapore's very complex terrain. And we also hope to give them more independence and give them more confidence in also exploring the Singapore. Because with our app, they should be able to traverse it much easier. So compared to what existing platforms offer, our open mobilizers is app-based, so it's more seamless in its interface, and it's also more integrated interface. It's also much more easy to use because the dashboard provides a more curated way to show all the information to the end user. So the end user actually knows, is more aware of the accessibility facilities around them. And it's also more versatile as it is created for many a wide range of PWDs. So just a sneak peek into what our app is based on. We used the Kotlin language, and we utilized Google APIs, namely Maps SDK, for the location and map interface, as well as Firebase, Firestore, and storage to store the location data and image data respectively. So we have prepared a short video on how the app works. Meanwhile, I will send the link to the application into the chat.
When they first open the app, this will be the dashboard that they'll see at the start. So for example, this will be curated to their own personal needs. So let's say if they only require a certain tool like category 1, then I'll just tap on category 1, and this is the selected locations that are near where you are. And for contributors, there's this menu, and when you open the map, and then as you move closer to Singapore, you can see that there's actually already a list of dots that are placed around Singapore. They are being put by us to show where are the locations in this place as a test bed. So for example, let's say in this place we already have one near Redhill, and let's say I want to add a new location, let's say near Orchard. So I'll just put one here. I'll long press, and you'll come up this place such that for example there's this title and the description. So let's say I will just put Orchard Station ramp, and then I'll say this is a ramp near the Orchard Station exit. Yeah, and then let's say so in the categories it will say what are the for example, one of the categories will be a ramp. So I'll just tap the one that exists, and then let's say I want to attach the image. Yes, so if you want proof, then you can attach the image as a proof. Then after that, you just press save over here, and when it's done, there'll be a new number of locations, and then in the map tool, this will be added onto the map, and this will be seen across all the phones with this app, because these points will be put onto a server that will automatically update for every single user in Singapore. For the
So that summarizes our presentation and application. Right now, I've just sent into the chat a link to our application. Since the video, we've also actually made some improvements and made it more production ready. So you could also give it a try right now.
Thank you, Open Enablers. That was a great presentation. And I have to say, this is a definitely needed features for persons with disabilities. So one of the questions I was just thinking about it while you were presenting, is how do you guys get more data points efficiently into your database? Because Singapore is a relatively big space, so you'd have to put it all together, right?
Okay, I'll take this one. Basically, our app relies on a large amount of people coming in and submitting their entries onto the database. So inevitably, that needs a lot of exposure. And we think that by integrating this app into, let's say, government applications like One Service, this application can get the exposure it deserves, so that it can, more users can input, and it'll be more useful in general. So right now, in the testing phase, it was just the three of us who were inputting these locations inside, but we hope in the future we can have all these people who are gonna input this data, and hopefully the more input, the more useful it will become, and which might encourage even more people to input. So it's like, I guess it's a closed loop cycle.
Yeah, crowdsourcing the data, I think is a great idea to put it all together. If you guys are selected to go forward to build this, what would be your next steps to improve on your prototype? I think one of you guys are muted. You have to unmute yourself.
Okay, could you repeat the question again?
Yeah, what
how to
would be
take this
your
app forward?
Yes, correct. What would be the next steps in improving it?
Okay.
Uh,
So some of the functionalities that that are going to be implemented, especially if this app were to gain traction, is that we would need more strict moderation techniques. Right now, we have accepts and disputes as a current check. So how that functionality works is that any user can simply accept or dispute another user's entry on for location. So, for example, if the set threshold in the code was that if the number of accepts was only 20% of the total number of accepts and disputes, it will be taken off the map. So we hope that this would reduce the amount of spamming and cluttered data into our database. And furthermore, we would hope to also, as mentioned, integrate it into the One Service app, as well as possibly make it more friendly to a even greater range of PWD. So built-in accessibility features are definitely something that can be implemented.
I think that's a great product roadmap you guys have right there. Well, and I wish you good luck to be selected further and to contribute to the community with your app. So thank you, Open Laborers.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.